Tanya and I are in Sibiu today in Transylvania. Sibiu used to be the capital of the Principality of Transylvania. We're here today on a summer morning, and we were here last night, and they're just taking down here this big stage that they had going last night, and there were some Bulgarian folk dancers. Well, this is the Church of the Holy Trinity. It's otherwise known as the Jesuit Church. And you never know it from the outside, but from the inside, I mean, wow, it's just a beautiful old church. So this is the Council Tower, which is one of the highlights of Sibiu. It's an impressive example of medieval architecture, so says the little guide that I have, and it stands 240 feet tall, and it has a distinctive cone-shaped tower, and it served as a guard tower and storage facility. Okay, we're now in the small square, which is just adjacent to the big square. A number of restaurants, outdoor restaurants, very nice, and you can get a good meal. We had one last night that was, reasonable for being in a tourist location. We're heading over now to the Bridge of Lies. Tanya asked me why it's called that, and we're going to find out for ourselves. Do you have your lying game up, Tanya?
Oh, but I'm afraid my nose is going to grow.
Really?
If I do that.
Pinocchio-like?
Yeah.
Now let's go see what we can find. Tanya and I have reached the famous and iconic Bridge of Lies. According to our guide here, it has a number of intriguing legends that shroud its name. According to one popular tale, the bridge has an uncanny connection to truth-telling, and it's believed to collapse if someone utters a falsehood while standing upon it. Another legend suggests that cunning merchants attempting to deceive their clients traverse the bridge, and those caught in deceit face the consequences of being tossed off. So, not fun. So let's see, Tanya, if the bridge will collapse if you get on there and tell a lie. We'll find out. Tanya is now situated right here at the railing of the Bridge of Lies, and she's going to say something, and we'll see if it's a lie. If it's a lie, the bridge will collapse, and we will both plunge to our deaths. So, Tanya, let it go.
I'm in love with J. Jacobs Mueller.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, 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 it's shaking. Uh-oh. It did not collapse, so I think we're doing okay.
We're good to go.
It was not a lie.
Not a lie.
Excellent. In researching for this trip, I looked at, where's a better place to stay for a few days? Sibiu or Sighisoara? Definitely Sibiu was the preferred location because there is a lot more here. Sighisoara will go there as well, but is more of a smaller town. And check out this beautiful church. All those colorful tiles up on the spire. Well, this is the Lutheran Cathedral here in Sibiu. And it's really interesting that this cathedral was originally Roman Catholic, but then during the Protestant Reformation of the 16th century, it was just kind of taken over by the Protestants, and it's been that way since then. Let's go see if we can see inside. One thing you gotta love about this town is that the way they've named things. You know, they've named large square, small square, and now this little gem is called the Passage of the Stairs, which, you know, it just says it all. And Tanya and I are really into stair walking. We love to see how many stairs we get at the end of the day. So, Tanya, let's come on down here and check this out.
Ooh, more stairs.
Yeah. So there was the Passage of the Stairs. Not too many stairs. Not bad.
Not bad.
Significance of this passage is that it was constructed in the 1300s and served as a crucial connection between the upper town and the lower town. And so you see here another defensive wall. Apparently they had about 3 different layers of defensive walls to protect the city. Because as we know, in medieval times, everybody was attacking everybody else for one reason or another, and you had to be protected. Now there's built into the wall here is a gastro pub. So you want to go in there and have a little gastro with your beer? There you go. We're in the small square right now, and we tried to have lunch at a place where we'd had lunch yesterday, and yesterday they were, very efficient. Service right away, and today they just didn't seem to care, and we waited, tried to make eye contact, and just looked the other way, and I thought, well, okay, that's enough of that. So we found another place. The price is much better, and they seem to want our business, so, you know, that's kind of the watchword to everything. Go where they want your business. Go where you're needed. Go where you're appreciated. And we're enjoying a chook draft beer. The lovely Tanya here thinks it's refreshing. It meets all the requirements.
It's cold and it's fizzy.
Cold and fizzy.
And
Once
it's very
again,
warm today.
It's quite warm today.
But the humidity is low.
Right. So it's still more comfortable than where we otherwise would be in Tennessee. Now, what are you going to do? Well, today we're taking another little walk around Sibiu. This time we're going the opposite direction of the old town, and we're going to scope out the train station because in another couple of days we'll be leaving for our next destination on the Romanian railways. If you come to visit Sibiu, you will definitely enjoy the beer and wine. Romania is definitely a beer country, and Sibiu is a beer city. Their wine isn't bad either. It's you get Moldovan or Romanian wine, and it's just quite refreshing. Don't forget to eat cabbage rolls. That's a big item here. It's called salmane. And there are lots of sausages. One thing Tanya and I have noticed here is that if you are a beef lover, this is not a real beef country. People always talk about, okay, well, I'm a vegetarian. How will I do in Romania? And you'll get a lot of, I think, misinformation. People will say, oh, it's a terrible place for vegetarians. It's so difficult. Well, it's not difficult at all. There are lots of opportunities if you want to stay vegetarian. But if you are a beef lover, as we are, you might be disappointed. The only beef that we have been able to encounter is chunks of stew meat in goulash or these different soups. Most of the animal protein here is pork. There's some chicken, but pork is king here. Smoked pork, pork sausages, pork cutlets. pork soup, pork everywhere. And when you go in a grocery store, you cannot find beef, or at least we've not been able to find it. You'll have ground pork and some chicken, and yeah, maybe some turkey here and there, turkey leg or something like that, but virtually no beef. Another thing is that you're in carbo heaven if you're here in Romania. And here there are bakeries everywhere with just wonderful baked goods. We're out inside one right now, and oh gosh, you know, there's just all sorts of things, and pastries and croissants and these beautiful artisan type breads. Tanya, what do you think about all the breads here?
Oh, just keep on walking.
Just keep on walking. Yeah. But you can do a
It
lot of,
smells
huh?
It smells so good as you walk down the street.
Yeah.
You stop and look. But you just got to keep on walking.
It would fill your tummy. Yep. And they're very popular. Yeah.
Yeah, like it.
Let's keep on walking. Well, we've reached the Sibiu train station where we'll be going in a couple of days. Let me just show you the area around here. It's a very easy 10-12 minute walk from the old town, and it's flat and downhill. So if you have a reasonably small amount of luggage roll along, it's going to be very simple to come on down here to the train station. Of course, there are always taxis, and we noticed yesterday there's Uber around here. But no need to do that if it's a nice day, and get on down here to the train station. And the bus station is very close to here as well. Okay, let's go in and look at the train station here. So lots of connections to Brasov, which will be our next destination. You can get your tickets online very easily, and they have an English translation section. That works out really well. Sibiu is a major city, and so there are lots of connections here. If you're going to go to Bucharest or Brasov or any number of places in Romania, it's centrally located, and I don't know about the bus connections from here. I know they do have them, and I don't know whether they're the smaller buses or the bigger ones. We've been taking the smaller ones just because that's who serves the places we've been, but certainly rail is a really viable option here. The other option, of course, is renting a car, which we've opted not to do. And we just don't do that. I mean, we're in our upper 60s, upper 70s, and just the idea of driving somewhere else where, you know, the habits may be a little bit different. Although we have seen that Romanian drivers they tend to be very, very good, and they do stop at crosswalks, which is really helpful. We're here at the train station, and here is the train that we'll be taking in 2 days. So we know exactly how to get to this track. We know exactly which car we're going to be on. It's a very short little train, goes all the way to Brasov. But this is what you can expect. And we're going in first class. There's just a little section of the train that's in first class, and we'll see what difference that makes. I'm sure we're going to be served fresh hot scones and fresh brewed Vienna coffee on our trip. Tanya's looking forward to that, and maybe some freshly squeezed orange juice. I'm kind of doubting all this, but you know, you never know. You can be easily surprised sometimes. As you may have noticed from some of our previous videos, there are two things that Tanya loves. One is shopping malls, and the second are fabric stores. We have been to fabric stores in Mexico, Ukraine, Portugal, I mean almost anywhere, and she's scouted one out here. So first of all, we found this mall, which so in contrast to Old Town Sibiu, you know, this has Zara, Pull and Bear, Starbucks right over here. You know, you've got it all. So we're going to go in here and grab a little air conditioning and see what else we can find. And of course, the mall has the ubiquitous food court with lots of brands, some brands that you might know and others that you may not. Noodle Pack, Mesopotamia, which is a really sort of an upscale kebab place. And of course, the always popular KFC over here. But I think for Tanya and I, or at least for me, I'm going to go to the King. I see a Burger King in the distance here, so I can finally get some beef of sorts. And after pizza and whatever else, if you still haven't gotten your carbo load, this is a chain we've seen around Romania, Cartoficerie, which is all potato stuff. And you can look, wow, this is amazing. If you can look in the back, they have sacks and sacks of potatoes. This is the food du jour here every day. Well, our stop at Burger King was a complete success. I got myself a triple burger, and I've got my meat fix now for at least several days. So off we go to the fabric store. Well, we're back from our fabric shopping journey, and Tanya made quite a haul here. Let's just see what she got. Tanya, you want to show us?
I got some beautiful spools of thread. Look
Yes.
how big that is.
Yes.
There's a lot of thread here.
Wow.
And the selection of colors was amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's polyester, and all this costs $8.
$8.
$8. And
What would that cost in the U.S., even if you could get it?
well, you certainly couldn't get this much.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, I don't know, but more than $8.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was a successful side excursion.
It was the best.
Great.
Nice people, beautiful fabric.
Wonderful.
And a good walk.
And a good walk. Okay, there you have it. If you come to Sibiu, not only are there historic buildings, wonderful restaurants and so forth, shopping malls, but fabric stores. So put that on your, check that box on your list.
Check that box.
Well, we took a load off our feet here in Sibiu to have a little drink of water and kind of see where we're going.
Your hat looks kind of silly.
My hat looks silly, says Tanya. How's that? That better?
That's better.
Thank you. Okay, so we are doing a fortification walking tour this morning, and where we've been is along this fortification wall, which was the third fortification wall in medieval times. And periodically along this wall there are these different towers. So there was one down there that was called the Carpenter's Tower. This is called the Potter's Tower. Further down the wall there's another one down there called the Armorer's or Gunsmith's Tower. And each of these guilds, these were German or Saxon guilds, and each of them were in charge, responsible for certain portions of the defensive walls. And these guys would be up there and they were able to shoot their old arquebuses, they were called, precursors to firearms, and also, for surveillance, see when the enemy was coming, and they could shoot bows and arrows and that kind of stuff. So Tanya and I are going to take a walk. They've finally opened it up here now, and we're going to go walk along this wooden walkway up there, which was used in medieval times to look out and see what's going on. And just like what we're going to do. We're walking along that outside walkway. It's just us and the pigeons. And here are the openings here where they would sneak and they would see what's going on over there, okay, and then they would if the bad guys were coming, then they'd shoot their old antique guns, bow and arrows. Now the pigeons are guarding it. Yeah, Tanya is reminded of our trip to Rotenburg ob der Tauber in Germany, where there's a similar walkway along a fortification wall, which makes sense. Most of these things were all designed by Germans. So one of the guilds was in charge of this section of the wall. And then when we get down to the end here, there's another tower, and a different guild would be in charge. So we've been looking forward to having sarmale, which is the stuffed cabbage rolls. And usually by the time we get to a restaurant, they're always out. So I think they make them early in the day, and but we have them now. So this is the thing. And they are these beautiful stuffed cabbage rolls here, and this one is with polenta, some sour cream, and a slice of ham on there. Tanya ordered the Caesar salad, which has chicken on it. Looks like a little couscous on there as well.
That's cheese, I think.
Ah, okay. Anyway, so we're ready to dig in. It's going to be wonderful. Well, we're saying goodbye to Sibiu this morning en route to our next destination. And I just wanted to give you a quick little overview or summary of what you can expect when you come to Sibiu. It's a wonderful little town. We were here 5 nights. The people are very friendly. The food is wonderful. Their old town is absolutely beautiful with lots of history and wonderful architecture. There's no real negative. I guess the only one would be that sometimes it seems like it's just heavily touristed. But it is summer, and weekends are especially busy. But there certainly aren't American tourists, and we saw very few Western European tourists, mostly all from Eastern European countries. We saw no Americans the entire time we were here. So it's a good time to come, because sooner or later, places like Romania and Sibiu in particular, and Moldova are going to be becoming more and more popular, and it's like the next big wave where all the tourists come, and we have to find the next place where there aren't that many people. So come now if you can. You'll really enjoy it. English is spoken widely. You can get around easily. You'll love it. Come.